Do you want to make the ultimate tech skill routine? Then this video is for you. I want to make a video about my current solo practice routine, but also how it's changed over time, because some of the things I used to do weren't exactly the best. As with all my videos, I feel the need to give the disclaimer that I'm not the best player. I just hit plat, so this video is probably more focused towards gold and below. And of course, if some grandmaster player wants to go and say that video sucks, you should do this, you should probably listen to them. But I feel like a lot of the advice out there is kind of tailored more towards higher level players, and I think sometimes in a weird way trying to apply that too early will actually lead to inefficient practice. With that out of the way, let's get into it. So when I first started, I had this long list of tech skills that I wanted to learn as a Fox player. I kind of fell for the propaganda that Melee is a single player game as long as the Fox is playing right. So I kind of started at like week 1, had this list of short hop drills I wanted to learn, shuffle into shine. Week 2, some shine tech, wave shine out of shield drops, some jump cancel tech, and so on and so forth. So the good thing about this was it is good to kind of like focus on one thing you want to learn and then go into your games and try to apply that. The bad part is that this list definitely should have ended probably here. Like as a silver, I had no business trying to drill out shine out of shield or shine out of shield wave shine, things like that. I think I have this one video actually where I tried to practice hitting 100 shine grabs in one unranked session, and this just kind of didn't improve my game too much. So how did it change? I really thought Melee was tech skill first, learn neutral and matchups later, but this is actually just backwards. I'll go over my current routine and what from my games informed the decision to include the drill. So first is the 20XX event, Trouble Puff. And one thing is, watching Melee, being a fan, I always thought something like up throwing, up airing Puff is something that was super easy. I was able to up throw, up air Sheik, up throw, up air Marth, so why wouldn't Jigglypuff be any different? And when you kind of just like go from just watching the pros, some of the things that look super easy that they hit every time are actually pretty hard, like harder than they look. When I was first practicing this event, it would take me like 15 minutes just to hit one single time because of Puffs trying to rest you as soon as they can. If sometimes I just wouldn't get up there fast enough. And so now I can get it a little bit, but I definitely had to start practicing it to help me out with the Puff matchup, because honestly every Puff I ran into I just was losing by a decent amount, and being able to up throw, up air with some bit of consistency did help me a lot more in the matchup. When I couldn't do it, they were able to just like hold shield all the time, and then I couldn't get any openings. So I included this. I do this to start off my routine, and ever since then, I've been able to handle the Puff matchup just a little bit better. I'm planning on keeping doing it until I hopefully get like a full run where I get it every time, but I definitely got a lot better. My current time is 2 minutes and 35 seconds. If anyone has a better time, drop it in the comments below and give me something to work for. Next we go into Uncle Punch, and we go over to exercise. And I don't just do like a exercise on Battlefield to help with the movement. I actually try to do a very specific version of exercise. So I grab Fox, I go to Final Destination. First I set it to any damage, and the purpose of this is to practice my running shines. So just like the Puff, running shine was something I thought was super kind of easy and trivial. I thought, hey, you just run and you just shine. But there's actually like a frame in between converting from run to crouch where you can't shine, and so sometimes it just doesn't come out. And this is another thing that I just didn't realize how necessary it is to like either like the Fox Ditto matchup or for like overshooting against like Marth or Sheiks. It's just an important thing to get your opening, a nice like safe way to get openings that I just never really realized until kind of like watching over my losses, seeing how the opponents that were beating me, how they were opening me up, especially for like the Fox Ditto. So this is why I try to focus a lot on running shines so I can get them in those high pressure situations. An added thing is I try to catch them right when they fall. And if I'm close to it, I try to dash dance until they fall, just so I can make sure I'm trying to running shine right when they fall down. And then, of course, I try to wave dash out of it because, I don't want to do it just on nothing, because you have to account for like the hit lag and when you can wave dash out of it. So that's why this is a big exercise for me, just making sure I have faith in my running shines. So I try to get maybe 100, 200 or so. Sounds like a lot, but it actually goes by pretty fast. So that's another core part of the routine. And then the last of my core routine is shield dropping and trying to like shield drop into attacks when someone's under a platform. I learned shield dropping pretty recently, and I realized there's a lot of situations where either maybe a Falco's lasering under a platform or a Marth is standing under a platform trying to up tilt you. Being able to cleanly play like kind of a mix up of landing on the platform and like vary the timing when you're going to drop down is important, and relying on just tapping down, is kind of finicky. So I set them to intangible. Maybe I try for like only like 5 minutes. I try to like just, dash, shield drop with some attacks. Try to shield drop with attacks onto the person. Just try to get really comfortable with shield dropping, because it's pretty important. I used to do the shield dropping event, trying to like practice doing shield drops out of like shield stun. This is another thing that I kind of like filtered out of my tech routine, because as mentioned before, I didn't think I was losing games to not being able to shield drop back air someone. It's kind of a slight optimization that I think will be important for higher levels, but I think just getting a good grasp of shield dropping even without shield stun and being able to move when there's a lot of Falcos camping me out under a platform that I need to be able to get to. So I think just being able to consistently shield drop out of dash and out of just standing still and into an aerial was important. So this is kind of like the last of my like core routine that I got from like watching over my games and my losses. So those were the three that kind of encapsulate like my current struggles, and I think are pretty big for learning right now from where I'm at. So those are the three that I think are pretty important for where I'm at right now. Then there's another category, I think, tech skill that will be important, that is very important later on and will be very relevant throughout every single game. And that's ledge dashing. So I make sure to get a little bit of ledge dash practice. I don't think I'm losing any games to not being in a ledge dash. Actually, I think like even at my level right now, there's not many people ledge dashing really consistently. But I know that it will be essential later on. And so I think even just doing a little bit every day is better than me waiting till maybe a year down the road when I'm higher rank and then I can't ledge dash and then I have to grind it out. Just doing a little bit of this every day, I think, is helpful. Of course, I go to like different stages, and then there's always, and then this one can get more complicated, as in if you look into it, there's like different ways to grab the ledge, and that kind of affects your ledge dash timing. But I try to like simplify it right now. So I'm only really practicing from Firefox stall. And then even then, so then later on, once ledge dashing gets more important, I'll probably try to mix it up, maybe from side B or maybe from wave dash or something. But for now, I try to just get this, because I think a little every day will be good in the long run. Try to mix up some up tilts, some up smashes, shine. And then sometimes if I hit it in game, great, but it's like not a core focus. But I think just like a little every day is helpful. And finally, I know this goes against everything I said, but I do think you can have a couple of drills that are actually just for fun. There might be some some high level tech that you see a player do and you think that's super cool and you think I want to learn that. Popular for Foxes and Falco are like multi-shinings and double shinings. So I think it's fine to just kind of like, maybe while you're doing the shield drop practice, you try to hit a couple double shines, or whatever tech you're really interested in doing. And kind of like a similar thought process to like the ledge dashing. Maybe just doing like a tiny bit every day is better than like in the long run versus trying to learn it all at once later. And at the end of the day, you know, this game is for fun. You're supposed to be having fun. And if there's a tech that you want to do, then you should go and practice it. But yeah, I wouldn't recommend tunnel visioning on it or trying to dedicate like a whole week to learning to multi-shine and then trying to hit it in unranked games or ranked games right away. So, you know, just put in a little bit every day, and then maybe someday you'll find, maybe one day you'll hit it in an actual game and it'll be super hype. So this is just kind of like a for fun way to either end it or weave it into what you're already doing. So yeah, that's the full current routine. But remember, the point of this video isn't to just give you a routine and say, hey, look at my routine, it's so good, you need this, you need to do this if you want to climb the ranks. It's to kind of just give you my thought process into why I'm doing those routines and kind of give you the tools to maybe look at your old losses a little more analytically, look at the general trends as to why you're losing, and then build your routine like around that. Thanks for watching. If you have any practice routines or drills that you thought helped you a lot in your Melee career, drop them in the comments. But later.